Welcome to Columbus, Ohio, and the venerable Horseshoe, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, a place that's home to such legendary names as Archie, Woody, Zeke, and Stroud. What a scene this is, a veritable cavalcade of colors, stripe after stripe that they hope leaves the visitors dizzy. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Ducks will kick it away to start us off. This will not be returnable as it sails out of the back of the end zone. Offense getting set for first down. From the gun, they'll try the middle. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And if I'm the running back, I'm going to listen. O-line, can you give me something? Can you give me some space to try to make somebody miss and not have another guy right next to me? I'm giving the offensive line an earful. I need some holes, need some space.
Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down. The margin for error is so small in this conference. It's really imperative to get off to a good start in Big Ten play.
Especially, Reese, since you're adding so much talent now to this conference. But, yeah, year in and year out, you know the mainstays in this conference, but there's always some surprises. And I'll be interested to see how everybody starts off this season. Listen, this is your first opportunity, Palmer, in conference play, in a major conference, obviously in the Big Ten, to make your first statement.
And it's going to be taxing all season long for these players. Physically, obviously, and you expect that in the Big Ten Conference. But now adding all those West Coast teams, these guys are going to be flying back and forth across the country a lot this year. They have to get off to a fast start today. That's what makes this game so critical.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route run. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots and zones. You got to get him involved.
Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. Running behind that left side. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the first down.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
And the Buckeyes are moving quickly down the field. Receiver going for the edge on the jet sweep. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And to stop the jet sweep, you've got to be great at containing. You have to have players in the perimeter of your defense funnel the football and force it to go back inside. That time, that defense was not allowing that receiver to get outside.
Quarterback changing the plays at the line. He wants to throw here on 2nd down. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
The defense was obviously ready for that play. They've obviously been watching film. They know that that pass play is one of the bread and butter plays this offense has, so nice job defending.
Unloads to the right. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
Well, they try to throw for it there on third down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
They are shaking the rafters of this place, trying to help their defense as they've got them pinned deep. They'll try the run. Open space at the 25. Running toward the tape. Inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, Oregon. You know they love their track at Oregon. And when the gun goes off and he hits open field, he is headed to the tape, and he was burning by the time he hit the end zone.
And they've had guys year after year with serious track speed. They'll get you the small runs, lull you to sleep, and then boom, they make those big plays because they got big-time playmakers with speed at running back.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Not going to get a return here. They'll bring it out to the 25 as the kickoff sails through the back of the end zone. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
Not a lot of productivity on that last play. They'll try it again on 2nd and long from the 23. He's looking to throw. It looked like a catch, but they'll say he was out.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on 3rd down. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. On 4th down, trying to find his man. And they can't connect, and the gamble does not work out.
Aggressive. You want to be aggressive. You want to take chances, and you tell your team about it all week, and you come out and you get an opportunity in the first half to go for it on 4th down. You shot your shot. The problem is now you put your defense in a bad situation early in this game where you're going to have to try to find a way to get a stop and create some momentum.
Looking to move it through the air. Trying to burn this defensive back. It's in. Complete, and he's lucky to get that one back. Almost intercepted.
And that's why these guys played defense. If that were an offensive player or receiver, that would have easily have been a catch. Come on, man. You've got to catch that and make that a pick.
They could have used a little bit more there. Picked up a 3. It's 3rd and 7.
And those physical runs take a toll. It might not be a big gain now, but down the road, 3rd, 4th quarter, late in the ball games, they tend to turn into bigger runs.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. A shot toward the end zone. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Ducks! That is what we call in the industry a defensive breakdown. That guy was loose for the big play.
Busted coverage, really, really bad execution. Somebody slips, somebody falls. Nothing about that defensively is something you're looking for, but the offense will take it and get the easy touchdown.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. No chance to return that one. A booming kickoff out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
They've got him spread out on 2nd and 7, 2 wideouts either side. He's looking to throw. He lets it fly. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
The quarterback could not have walked that ball and placed it into the hands of his receiver any better. That was a perfect throw. Wide out, deep downfield. You got to finish the play.
Going with the ground game left. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
How frustrating is that? You're that running back. Where were you supposed to go? There was absolutely no lane for him on that play.
The Buckeyes send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Running it back, it's Brown. Slips through the line. Can they catch him? He will score! Touchdown, Oregon! He did that one all by himself. Make a few guys miss, turn on the afterburners, and boom, everybody's toast.
And that's why you got him back deep, because that guy can do that. You got to be explosive and quick and have good vision, and you see all those things on one punt return. Takes it back to the house, makes people miss, turn it on the gas. Great job, great return.
Not going to give him a chance to make a play as they boot that thing through the end zone. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, Dave, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
He's going to pass. Fires on the move. He's got an open man. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
Really nice throw there to get the first down. And, you know, when you think about Ohio State quarterback play, especially here recently, it all comes down to efficiency. You have to make good decisions. You got to read the defense, and you got to be accurate. When you think of guys like Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, guys who went in the first round, that's what they did. And this guy right here, I think he has the ability to be a first-rounder in the future.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They make the stop at the 19 after a pickup of 5.
I think you run that punt on 2nd down knowing it's going to make 3rd down easy. You're not trying to hit a home run. You don't need the big play right now. Now you know 3rd down, everything's on the table, everything's available, high success rate.
The Buckeyes get enough to move the chains. They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10. Been showing them the run. Now they'll throw it. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.
And I think this is important for this defense. This will be a big key in the football game. Like, I got to limit the damage from that guy. Because that's a QB that's dynamic, and he can make so many big plays. I got to string him out. I got to make him get to the sideline. But I will say this. I do want to hit him at the end of the runs. I don't want to let him out of bounds and let him get free carries. I want it to be physical.
Buys a little extra time. Going for 6. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And it's so underrated, the relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing in the field because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. They got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Oregon 21, Ohio State 7.
First down to start the drive after the break. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
Line getting set on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the big fella. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. He's past the 30. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense.
Yeah, and way to be creative, way to get the ball in the perimeter really quickly, get some speed outside. All you got to do is secure that edge, and you're just trying to get that 1st down. Nice job, nice play call by the offense.
DB's right up on the receivers. Wide out in motion. The give to the tailback. Got behind those pads and picked up 3 out to the 35.
Nice run there on 1st down. You know this is a running back that gets better as the game goes on. So they're going to want to make sure they keep feeding him the football, let him get lathered up.
Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. He was not going to be denied, discarding tacklers, running behind his pads, and finally down at the 40. On 3rd and short, just trying to get enough for the 1st down. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice run there to get the 1st down. I got to tell you, I'm impressed with the stable of backs and the weapons this offense has. A lot of different guys can touch the football in a variety of ways, but they've been running it very, very well in this game so far.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get 1st downs, and ultimately get some points.
Leaves it with the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
You know, the one thing you can say about this defense, they pursue the football. The 1st guy might miss, the 2nd guy might miss, but there's going to be more and more hats flying to the ball carrier. You saw it on that play, getting a tackle for loss.
Do they have another third down conversion in the bag? Already 2 for 2 on this drive. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Just a short pass to the tight end.
Everybody on the same page there on blitz pickup, right? Offensive line, everybody communicating, understanding where they have to work to give their QB time to make an accurate throw and pick up the first.
The Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on 1st down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good 2nd down.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Fast motion from the offense. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Hard running there. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, David. It puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it. He'll be stopped short, picks up 1, but they're facing 4th and 1.
And that adds to a successful day. 100 yards rushing on the day. That's what you strive for. Usually when you hit that 100-yard mark, a lot of times you're saying, my offense is going to win, my team is going to win. He's at the 100-yard mark, so that's a good thing for the offense.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They'll pass on the 50-yard field goal try and instead try to pick up the 1st down here on 4th. Quick pass on the jet motion. Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the 1st down.
I just love the play call. You're getting a fast player out in the open field, and it's enough to get you a 1st down.
For the offense.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. They've got it down to the 32. 1st and 10 coming. He wants to throw. Fires to the right. Ball in the air. Intercepted. Got room on the return. He's out of bounds, showing off the hands on the pick, and then the nifty moves on a terrific return.
What a nice catch by the defensive back. Listen, a lot of times you see DBs get in position to make plays, but there's a reason they play DB and not wide receiver. Great job finishing the interception, catching the ball, making a big play.
He wants to start this drive with a pass. And he's left with no option. He just threw it away.
This offense just has to find a way to find a rhythm here. They're playing at home, and they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but they need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
He's back to throw on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment and they've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right here, and they're making it hard for this quarterback to go to work.
Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Trying to find his man in the middle. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass, locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away, pass incomplete.
3 straight misfires has left them staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. Wide receiver now comes in motion. On fourth down, looking for the completion. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Love the coverage on defense there. Fourth down, they're ready for the pass. And you saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Looking for a productive play on first down. They'll run the option. Now the toss. And they just didn't get anybody on that defense out of position, and they will lose yardage on that one. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. And here comes the offense on second down. From the gun to give, looking for room. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Going to try to pop one on the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be fourth down. The Ducks in the hurry up. And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Someone moved a little early, and the offense will go backward. Defense more than happy to take that free yardage. And the Ducks will call on their punt team. Trying to play a little field position with that high punt. And the coverage team will get to it, and they'll down it just inside the 30. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Buckeyes will kick it off to start the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. First down here for the offense. Starting this third quarter on the ground. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
On second down, he'll let it fly. Working that left side. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play, because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
No doubt, offense wants to keep running the football to win this game, but I'm wondering if they're starting to go to the well too often. They've got to start showing some new wrinkles here this half.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. He's looking to throw. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Tackled immediately after the catch.
Guys in the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. Got his man downfield. Then they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
And I really like when offenses attack over the middle of the field. Between the linebackers and the safeties, there's usually a soft area that you can usually have some success. And really nice job by this offense taking advantage of those areas.
From the gun, running back on the move. Noses his way forward, maybe gets one. They'll mark it at the 18. This crowd knows this defense needs them right now. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Obliterates him, still on the move. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business, 1st and goal.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Ducks! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. The offense strikes again to extend its lead here in the 2nd half.
And they got everything working. How great is this? You extend your lead, now you get your defense back on the field. Great job taking advantage of the situation and building on that lead.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
2 very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Old Dominion is going to enjoy the trip back to Norfolk after a rock-solid performance. And you take care of business on the road, and you stack wins there in Ballard Stadium, and suddenly it's quite the resume. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings, and the other heads home licking its wounds.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. To the ground with the back. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29.
Listen, that wasn't the greatest run in the world, but it was very successful, and you're making me honor the run. And another thing, every time you run the football, someone gets tackled. There's physicality involved in the game. So I like when offenses commit to the running the football, no matter what the outcome is, because those body blows do add up.
Quarterback checking off. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And that ball is hauled in inside the 35. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And listen, find your matchups you like, and you can see you got your speedster out wide. You like the matchup. He sees it, puts some air underneath that thing, and he outruns the DB. He's got no shot. Runs underneath it, and then walks his way into the end zone for 6.
On the run from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
They'll run play action. Throws to the tight end. Wide open downfield. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Ooh, that's a nice throw. Great accuracy there. And you think about Oregon quarterbacks, I know we think about guys running around a little bit, but think back to guys like Dan Fouts, A.J. Feely. How about that now? Joey Harrington, of course, Justin Herbert. These guys could thread the needle from the pocket, make all the throws. This guy here reminds me a little bit of them.
Leaves it with the running back. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. And if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job in the base defense making a play.
Wide receiver shows motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Nothing but green ahead. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
It's so important this offense is able to get this guy the ball in space, especially in the perimeter of the field. And I love that last play call because he's able to get outside and use his speed. To me, that's where this guy is his most dangerous.
Brown has it. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
Motion from the offense. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
Oregon, 28. Ohio State, 14.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Oregon.
Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery. Flying out to the left. The 20. Touchdown, Ohio State. The defense with the scoop and score. No backs with the quarterback as they line up for the 2. He'll take it himself. He's in there for the 2-point conversion, and now they're just down 6. They're lining up to kick it away, and that defense salivating after getting the scoop and score. And he's going to bring it out. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. This game might be out of reach by now, Jesse, if not for the benevolence of these guys.
I tell you, I give them credit offensively because they've been aggressive. They just haven't always been calculated, David. They've been way too cavalier with the football.
Aggressive and reckless. Like there's a difference between the two. They've had some success and they've been good, but make sure that my bad isn't turning the football over and giving the defense easy opportunities to score.
Hands it off. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Really nice job by the defense getting that last stop. All third downs in games are important, but this one just feels like it's the biggest down of this game right now for this defense. If they can get off the field, they've got to give it back to their offense with as much time as possible to have a chance to win this game.
Finds his tight end. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35. Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to third down. You get them to those critical points. Now they get the first down. You don't have many left. You better get aggressive.
And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
In these touch passes, it's so hard because there's always action off of it, right? If I fake this pass and I can run it up the gut or I can throw it and they just spread me out and make me defend so many things, and you could tell they got on the edge quickly, got the big first down.
They'll give it to the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
As an offense, you've got the lead, you've had success running the football. You hope that this play is just a blip because you know you're going to have to lean on your bell cow running back to ice this game and close it.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
Timeout, Oregon.
Second down coming up. Moore will throw. Back open in the middle. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. A great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Shotgun snap on third down. Got his man on the right. And he was knocked down immediately short of the line to gain. They'll have to make a decision here. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. The Ducks will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. Here comes the biggest drive of the game for this offense, down one score. Caught in the backfield, it's Thurman. Still on his feet at the 45. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
What a weapon this guy is, right? In tight end position, not only can he get open, he can run away from people after the catch. He's a big dude, so he's hard to bring down anyway, but the speed is what makes him different.
One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physical. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. They'll leave it with him. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
And you gotta love this defensive performance so far. Done such a good job against the running back that you saw last week, man. He can go off. He can make big plays. He can chew some yardage up and keep an offense on schedule. Nice job by this defense locking in and shutting down the run game so far.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. They're throwing for it on 4th down. He's going to let it go. And he makes the catch inside the 20. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down. The Buckeyes getting set on 1st and 10. They'll throw it from the red zone. Gets it to the back. And there is nothing doing on that one. You got the completion and nothing else to show for it.
Defense not fooled there in a 2-minute situation. This offense trying to go quick game, trying to catch some blocks to see if they can spring that guy, but the defensive pursuit just too good on that one.
On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. He just got rid of the football. I'm not sure what he was doing, and they're going to get him for grounding. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. They're trying to get to him. And he tried to make something happen with his feet, but they stopped him short, and it'll bring up a 4th down. They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to try to rally here late. Deep into the 4th quarter of this game, down by 6, they'll have to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Makes the grab. He's stopped just short of the goal line, but they'll have it 1st and goal from the 1. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. And now, 4th quarter, 4-down territory almost certainly as they get ready to try to grab the lead. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Quarterback sneak, wedging himself into the line.
And nice job by this defense. You kind of knew something like this was coming. Great job. You got to get penetration. First thing you have to do is get up under that center. Make it really hard for him to go forward right now. Nice penetration, stopping the quarterback sneak in its tracks.
And I think it's go time now at this point of the game if you're on offense because you need a touchdown. You have this golden opportunity down close to the goal line. Who is a playmaker you can identify offensively that you know can win one-on-one to get you the score?
He'll go to the sneak. He's not going to get there. A big stop for this defense on 4th down.
Hey, he looks short on that play, and the quarterback sneak is such an easy play, and you trust it because the quarterback gets the ball right away, but that defensive line was having none of it. Failed 4th down. Big-time stop for this defense.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Timeout is called. The clock stopped with 26 seconds left. So that defense keeps the lead right where it is and a chance to build on it, David.
Yeah, the defense did a great job. Now, the offense, you know what you're going to get from this defense. They have to be aggressive. They're trying to get the football back later in the game, Jesse.
Because they're going to be so aggressive too, David, you know on offense now you have a chance to break one maybe. In the run,
you just can't go backwards. There he did, and they swarmed him for a safety.
You could tell the defense smelled it. They knew exactly where they were on the field, put the pressure on him, got him down in the end zone. Safety, baby.
That's usually prime return position, but he'll make the fair catch just outside the 40. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. Wants to throw on first down. Getting some heat. They get to him as he throws. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. Unloads to the wideout. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
Well, this defense is going to need a few plays now to get some of this momentum back. Remember, they had a massive lead earlier in the game, but that's dwindled now. You wonder if they were just sleepwalking a little bit. They've got to step up now and play with some urgency.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. Here's a throw downfield late. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock. Down late in a 4-point game, they'll keep the offense on the field on fourth down. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. Oh, and they get to him. Had a chance for an all-time finish, but the defense put a stop to it, and that's the final play of the game.